and I can definitely respond to you. I've heard a lot of definitions of character. One definition was what you do when no one is watching. Who you actually are when you're not putting on a front. And to me, character is all about those principles that you live by, those things that make you a person of principle, those guidelines, and some people say non-negotiables to who you are. Earlier in the live that I did today, I was talking about having a code of conduct. I read a book by Ianla Van Zant where she talked about making a personal code of conduct. What do you actually live by, in terms of your personal relationships, your finances, your friends, your job? What do you stand on? I've heard it said that we need to stand for something or we will fall for anything. So to me, that's kind of what character is. What do you stand for? What means something to you? What guides your principles? What guides your decisions? So to me, when people say that someone has character, they mean things like that person's trustworthy, that person's reliable, they're honest, they're decent. Some people say a good man has character or a good woman has character, and then sometimes people use it in the term of, ooh, that person's a character, and they almost mean it like a fictional character, like somebody that you can hardly even believe exists, but when I use the word character, I'm not really meaning it that way. I'm meaning it in terms of principles and guidelines for living. And I think that having a principled life gives you a legacy. It's something that you can be proud of. It's something that your children can be proud of. I remember Oprah Winfrey talking about how she was given different options to interview certain people and to post these very salacious things that they had done. And then she said she turned down some of those things. And she said, I don't want to be the person that when they think about their mother or their sister or their friend, they remember this Oprah show where this person was so badly embarrassed. I don't want to defame their character, even though they did this. They've moved on. They've tried to reform their life. I'm not going to bring that up and throw it in their face. And I think a lot of times people are not able to get past things that they've done because people do throw it in their face. People do bring it up, again and again. And I've even seen on Facebook where some people will say, I am not that person anymore. I'm not that person that did that. That person is dead. And so if you refer to those things, I'm going to say, that's not me anymore. And so, we definitely have a choice in the character that we have. I do believe that people can and do change. I do believe that a person can be completely different, and some people will say, well, I've never seen a person change. It's hard for me to believe that because when I think about some of the great historical figures, they've absolutely changed. Like I think about, we're talking about Black History Month. If you've ever seen the movie Malcolm X, when Malcolm X was a teenager, he was a hoodlum. He was in and out of jail. He was dating white women. He was conking his hair, basically had a perm in his hair. And then he went into jail, and that's where he actually transformed. So people say, oh, those jailbed conversions, they're not real. Well, for Malcolm X, it was real. He came out of there with a totally different mentality. He read the dictionary in prison. And one of the scenes I remember from the movie Malcolm X was when he was looking at the word black. And he was saying that all of the things he saw for the word black were negative. And when he looked at the word white, all the things that he saw for the word white were positive. And that made such a huge impact on him. He was like, I need to redefine myself because if this is how they're defining me, I don't agree with these things. I don't agree that black is evil. I don't agree that black is threatening. I don't agree, that black is uncivilized. I don't agree with any of that. So he decided to completely change and transform his way of speaking about himself. And he began to educate other people about how they could see themselves differently. And so to me, that's a man of character, someone who admits their wrongs and says, I have the ability to change these wrongs. I have the ability to go on a different path. So to me, character doesn't mean that you don't make mistakes. It doesn't mean that you don't start off in a place that you might be embarrassed of or ashamed of or wish you hadn't gone to. But it means that when you get to a certain point, you say enough is enough and you choose to live your life in a better way. Like Maya Angelou said, when we know better, we do better. And then when we learn, we should teach. And again, Malcolm X is a great example of knowing better and doing better and learning and teaching. So I definitely think